Hi there, welcome to Wyckoff Technical Analysis session for Pepe. If you're new to my sessions, here are the key takeaways you can expect. I'll cover those three things and we'll start with the weekly chart. So, since last time we covered Pepe, this another LPSY has happened, and so does it here. That's a mini peak. If I change it to a line chart, then you can see why I added those two tags. And it looks to me we have gone through the preliminary support period as well. That happened somewhere around the key level of, like the orange key level of 72 with 5 zeros, okay? And now, the price is challenging the red key level of 53. Again, with 5 leading zeros. That's the level where the selling climax back in March this year was. And also, during the retracement of the PSY period back in 2024 April, that's also where the prices closed or opened at that level where they found support basically. If we look at what happened on the October 10th, however, where we are now, or where those selling climaxes or second tests were, it's in the lowest point. That particular date indicated to us the price can get as low as somewhere near the high point during the 2023 accumulation. So if I draw another line, well, that's where it should go. Alright, I am going to make this another color so it doesn't fall within any that we have in the rainbow key levels. Okay, so maybe the saturation is too low. Okay, let's use this color. That's somewhere around 18 with 5 leading zeros. Not saying that would be the low point of this if it drops further, but we can see that that's where the peaks during that accumulation were. Okay, you see those peaks that ended around this line, alright? And the drop during October 10th was very close to that particular level. If we go to a lower level, we'll be able to find some clues for that, and we'll get to that point when I get to the daily chart or even the 3 hours chart. Let's see, whether we can find clues for this one. Okay, so for now, back to where we are. So I put in this, and it is in the process of telling us where the selling climax will be. And eventually, after the selling climax, the automatic rally would appear. So these are the two next stages that we are waiting for. Okay, while the price is trying to seek the bottom for Pepe. Before getting to the daily chart, the usual practice is to check the Bollinger Band and counter squeeze. During this period, from mid-late August all the way till late October, we were within the squeeze period, and then the swing started. So if you're new to this indicator, what it shows us is whenever there is a squeeze, what comes after is bigger price swings. Okay, sometimes it swings to the downside first before it comes up. Sometimes it swings to the upside. So if you're new to this indicator, remember, it tells us a bigger price movement is coming, but not the direction. Alright? Don't misunderstand it and make a wrong move. Now let's get to the daily. Daily, similar sense, we gone through a couple of days of squeeze. The indicator doesn't show it because the definition or the calculations, the formulas they've put in only show the shade at the back when the purple lines are both inside the orange. For me, if one line or both lines are close enough to the orange, basically touching it, I consider that a squeeze has started. So if you look at here, the purple on the top is within the orange, and the purple at the bottom was basically touching the orange since Wednesday. So I consider that started a squeeze already, and now we are seeing the first move after the squeeze. Okay, enough for the squeeze. Let's go back to the Wyckoff. So last session, which was way back during mid-September probably, we were still asking the question, was that a sign of strength? And while that may be, that's also potentially like a backup or last point of support period. The PSY obviously happened, and we've got a very low peak that just challenged the light blue key level. Back then was 124. Okay, and then it eventually came down. You can consider that a second test or even just an LPSY. And more LPSYs. And eventually, we've got this. That may or may not be the selling climax, that outlier day of, the famous October 10th. Assuming what we are seeing now, or what the price is going to test, is the actual selling climax. What happened during that post-October 10th period was the preliminary support stage. Alright? And now this is yet to be confirmed. Okay, there's another scenario that I covered for both SHIB, Chainlink, and maybe Peak. That, if that really is the selling climax, we are probably seeking a spring. So while the chart is still, playing out what it actually is, what we can do is to draw this, so to let you know that's potentially another scenario that's playing out. If that's the case, and that's a second test, and now we may be going through a stage where you can call that a test or a spring, okay, depending on whether this is the last stage of the current accumulation. So these are not the end yet, okay? They can go lower. I'm just putting it there so it's close to today's candlesticks, so we are trying, or the price are trying to get to that point. The price actions are trying to get to that point. So I did mention we're going to see whether there are clues at the lower level time frame for this action on October 10th, right? So if we go to the left, if I draw a line over there, let's use a dashed line this time. So you see how interesting this is, right? So that was October 10th, right over there. And then if we go to the left, just want to make sure the line is level. It looks like it isn't right now. That's 2.6. No. 2.674. There's something over here. Yeah. Let's move it back up a little. I wanted to touch the October 10th line. Yeah, roughly about it. So you see, let me enlarge this real big. Here, that's where it is. And we look to the left. That's where this bunch of candlestick found support. Alright? So the price actually landed around that level, 1 year and a half back. February 2024. All the way to those, how many days? 4 days. March the 1st. Okay? That over here was where October 10th ended up landing. Okay, so that's why sometimes people say, why do I draw all those key level lines? That's where we can get reference, or explain why the price stopped at that particular point. Okay, there are always clues in the chart that you can find, even on those outlier days. people will ask, why not drop all the way to the bottom? Why that particular location? In the weekly chart, we won't be able to tell because it's just one straight candlestick bar with no interruption. But when we get to lower level, we see more clues. And if we get even lower, just make sure that line shows up so we can see. Visible on current level and below. If we go to the 3 hours chart, let's see if, yeah, we've got, yeah, I'm not going to see that much, but that's good enough. We see that little mountain, that many trading activities happening, and these bunch of candlesticks, okay, all found support around this line. Okay, so just a lengthy explanation to tell you why the October 10th landed over there and then rebounded. Doge I covered on Sunday. I mean, just yesterday? No. Yeah. I covered just yesterday. You can look at my live sessions yesterday. You can find Doge. And okay, finishing explaining this, we talk about the next potential levels. Also, if it really comes to the point that continues to trade above this red line, that red key level of 55, sorry, not 55, 53 with 5 zeros. This is the current resistance line that's been developed over the past 8 to 10 days. Okay, if the price continues to trade within this triangle, alright, that means it continues to trade towards this tip. That's somewhere near November 17th or 18th. Then that's a potential breakout timing. So the importance of that is that if it goes to the side, that's good. That means the horizontal trading between the red key level and the orange key level is going to continue. If it doesn't, if it breaks below the red, you know, after a couple of days of sideways trading, it breaks below, then that answer our question, you know, is the selling climax ending similar level as in March or April? That answer is no. It's going to be deeper, and the next reference we have is April 2024. So if I pull the line up, you know, before the price get as worse as October 10th, here is a level at around 46 with 5 zeros, with 5 leading zeros. That's the second line of support. Let's put it this way. If the red key level is the first line of support, this is the second line of support. The third line of support is around where the October 10th went to. There is one intermediate level here where this wick of April 2024 landed. So let's pull this down as well, so you have all the references I'm showing you. Those 4 levels of support if the price really comes down from this point. Okay, today we already tested the red. It got close enough and found support. Some people bought in around that level, but this hasn't finished yet. So in the next few days, when the price continues being suppressed under this yellow dashed line, we're getting closer and closer to the revelation of truth, you know, whether we are going to get lower. And if we do, those are the 4 lines that, you know, by the time we come back in the next session, hopefully we'll be able to see those lines are, you know, indeed having effect and providing support. Get me some good shots on, got me some shots on Pepe. Yeah, that's good if you caught the dip. Congratulations, Ernest. So yeah, that's for Pepe, and not across the board it's not optimistic, but then those are the stages that we can expect to happen, and let's see where the lowest point is for this round of accumulation. It's going to be interesting to see if it really gets to a point where we were at back 4 years ago during not 4 years, but 2 to 3 years, 2022 to 2023. Okay, thanks for joining me. See you in the future sessions.